Hello everybody, today we will start with our fifth lecture and second module, sensors and transducer. In this module we have covered with the basic of the sensor and transducer, and the second point in this lecture we have covered the active and passive transducer. In measurement system all quantities can be measured, but measure quantity it is difficult to display it. So we can require to measure quantity can be displayed in some perfect format. For that purpose we use the device which convert a measure quantity into display to suitable format with the help of the transducer. So first we define what is in the transducer. So here consider a basic block which is given input, then measuring device, and output. So here you can see a block diagram of general measuring system which consists of input, measuring device and output. So what is input? Input is nothing but your measured quantity or your measured quantity. And measuring device are nothing but your signal conditioning devices. What are the signal conditioning devices? These are maybe amplifier, filter, attenuator or modulator. Here the data, when it is input signal is given to the measuring device, then it is put to the signal conditioning where the data will be processed. It may be modulated, amplified, filter or attenuated. Then output. The output is a result of the measure. So transducer is a device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. Or we can say that transducer which convert physical quantity into an electrical signal. This is another definition for the transducer. So transducer can be defined as it is a device in which convert one form of energy into another form of energy, or we can say that which convert a physical quantity into an electrical signal, that is called as a transducer. So what are the basic elements of transducer? The best example of transducer is mercury thermometer. So basic element of transducer first one is the sensing element. And second one element which called as transition element. and second one is transaction element. Here input quantity and output. So what are the sensing elements? Sensing element, basic function of the sensing element, which is here to sense the non-electrical quantity. The non-electrical quantity are in the form of light, pressure, temperature. These are non-electrical quantity which is sensed by the sensing element. The sensing element are nothing but your sensors which detect the physical quantity. That is called as a sensor. So here input is a non-electrical quantity. When detected by the sensing element, it is given to the sensing element, and that is nothing but a sensor. The sensor responds to the transition element. Then transition elements which convert this into electrical signal. So that is called as transition element. The output of a transition element which is in the form of your output into electrical signal. So this is a basic block diagram of your transducer. These are consist of your sensing element and transaction element. Now let us consider the basic example of transducer is mercury thermometer. A mercury thermometer consists inside a mercury which is a temperature detector transducer. So the tube filled with the mercury and scale is calibrated. So temperature can be measured according to the level of your mercury. So this is a scale where the temperature will be measured, and according to the mercury level, displacement of this mercury level, the temperature will be detected. So this is a mercury. So this is one example of your transducer in which the temperature means heat is measured, and which is a form of energy which is converted into mechanical movement, that is a displacement. So that is. Now let us go the sensor. Sensors are nothing but the which sense the any physical quantity and convert it into electrical signal. Sensors. So sensors are basically, we can say that, which sense the physical quantity and convert it into basically electrical signal. So sensors are sense a physical quantity and convert it into electrical signal. Physical quantity may be pressure, flow of water, then light, intensity, humidity. These are the physical quantity which is sensed by the sensor and that will convert into electrical signal. So best example of the sensor is your microphone. So microphone, which detects the signal and convert it into electrical signal. So here input is a sound. Sound is a physical quantity, physical signal, and which is converted into, this is a microphone, which is converted into electrical signal. Then we go to the what are the basic requirements of the transducer. Basic requirement of a transducer. So while selecting any transducer, what are the basic requirements to the transducer? That is, first one is freshness. Second one is a linearity. Then third, sensitivity. Sensitivity can be defined as it is a ratio of output to the input. Output to the input. That is nothing but sensitivity. Then repeatability. Fifth, that is a high output signal quality. Signal quality. Then sixth one, high stability. Good dynamic response. Eight, high reliability. So these are the basic requirements while selecting, or we can say what are the requirements for the best transducer: freshness, linearity, repeatability, high output signal quality, high stability, good dynamic response, and 8 the high reliability. So these are the requirements while selecting the best of the transducer. Now we go to the classification, basic classification of a transducer. So, classification of the transducer. Are into 5 subcategories. First one, on the basis of operating principle. On the basis of operating principle, then active and passive, which is to be shown in detail. You can see in detail. Then primary and secondary. Then your analog and digital. And inverse and transducer and inverse transducer. Transducer and inverse transducer. So, on the basis of operating principle, they are categorized into variable resistance, variable inductance, or inductance into variable capacitor, voltage divider, and variable voltage. Active and passive transducer. Active transducer, which is called as a self-regulating, which do not require any external power supply. That is called as your active transducer. The example is the piezoelectric transducer. Then passive transducer. The passive transducer, the transducer which are required the primary initial source or its operation, that is called as your passive transducer. The example of the passive transducer is LVDT, linear variable differentiable transducer. Then primary. The primary and secondary transducer. The primary transducer, in which the transducer we said that primary, which convert any physical quantity into electrical signal, that is called as means one form of energy, any physical quantity into electrical signal, that is called as primary transducer. Secondary transducer, which convert any electrical signal into mechanical moment or mechanical energy, that is called as your secondary transducer. Then analog. Analog transducer are the transducer, the input quantity which is to be converted into output signal in the form of analog, and the output is a function of continuous function of the time. That type of transducer we call it as your analog transducer. Then digital, the input which is given to the transducer, which convert into digital format or pulses in the form of 0 and 1, and which is a discrete time in a function of the time. The output is a discrete time function of the time, that is called a digital transducer. Then transducer and inverse transducer, similarly, which convert a non-physical quantity or non-electrical signal into electrical signal, that is called as your transducer. And second one is the inverse transducer, which converts reverse operation to the transducer, means which convert any electrical signal into mechanical energy. That type of transducer is called as your inverse transducer. So these are the basic classification of the transducer. Now we are going to the difference between sensor and transducer. Then we go to the active and passive transducer. So first serial number, parameter, on which parameter it will be differential, sensor, and second one here transducer. Parameter first, definition. Sensors are defined as the which detect the physical quantity and convert it into electrical quantity. So it detects physical quantity and convert it into electrical signal. That is called as a sensor. Or we can secondly define transducer. Transducer is a device which converts one form of energy, into another form of energy. So it is also called, you can say that, sensor. So all sensors are the transducer, but all transducers are not sensor. That is the basic differentiate point you can remember. Then second function, detect physical quantity and convert it into electrical signal. Function convert one form of energy into other. Third, sensing element. Sensing element itself. Sensing element itself with some circuitry. Then fourth point, to differentiate your sensor and transducer. Is feedback. Fourth point, feedback is not present in sensing element, but it is given to the system. Feedback is present in transducer and which is given to the system for the control operation purpose. Then last fifth is an example of sensor, that is microphone. We send the physical sound quantity, which is a sound, and which converted into electrical signal. We detect the sound signal, which is the physical quantity, and converted into electrical signal. That is second one is your mercury thermometer, which sense the your temperature and convert it into measure into mechanical energy, means level. So that is the example of your transducer. Now we go into the next concept, to the active and passive transducer. So next is a point, active and passive transducer. So we can differentiate along with the definitions as well as their parameters, active and passive. So what is the active? So first parameter, that is definition. Active transducer. So active transducer, it is a transducer which do not require external power supply. The transducer which do not require external power supply. And the passive transducer are the transducer which are required external power supply for their operation. External power supply for their operation. That is called an passive transducer. An active transducer, the transducer which do not require any external power supply for their operation. That is called your active transducer. Then second point, self-generating. Active transducer are the self-generating transducer. These are the self-generating.